Hello everyone. So we have been looking about the while loop scenario now. Yes, so we were studying how this while loop is functioning. So how you can pass this? You have to pass the condition inside the while loop, and you have to play around with that by incrementing or doing whatever you want, because of the purpose of having the proper condition and the purpose of limiting the while loop iteration with the particular times like 10 times or 20 times or whatever. Okay, so we are defining declaring and initializing a variable, and we are incrementing the variable. We are doing that kind of crazy things just because of we have to stop it with 10 times. Okay, so you understand this, guys, right? So if you don't understand, just provide the values to the I and check during each and every iteration. I'm sorry guys, where am I? Okay, and check during each and every iteration of the while loop what is the I value. Okay, then that will tell you, okay, where is the while loop is breaking. When it is becoming 11, it breaks. So let's see. So now I said you like in the for loop. So now what you have to do is you have to manually or mentally compare the for loop with the while loop, right? So now as we saw in the for loop, while loop also have this continue and break keywords. Okay, so you know what is the meaning of it, right? Can you guys tell it? So what is the meaning of the continue keyword? Continue keyword means we want to skip that particular iteration of the while loop. Okay, and break keyword is we want to break the while loop and come out of it, same as the for loop. So I'm not repeating it that much, just I'm quickly doing it because if you have come through this video with one by one, step by step in each and every tutorials, you are going to understand uh, what this continue and break means. I have done it in the for loop very well. Okay, so let's do a small continue test. So for example, I'm going to use the continue. That means let's say if these I values, okay, yeah, let's print the I value first. Okay, let's stop this high. So let's print the I value first. Okay, you know what it is, right? So in the for loop we have printed, right? When we wanted to print numbers, we printed the variable value, right? So that is the way, right? Now we printed a static, fixed high value, okay, permanent. But now I'm going to print the I value as a variable value. So first let's look at this and come back to the continue scenario. So now what is here going to happen is, in the first iteration I is 1, I'm printing I. So 1 is the number being printed. Then next iteration I is 2, I'm going to print 2. So likewise I'm going to print from 0 to 10, sorry, 1 to 10, because I initial value is 1 to 10. So like the same as we printed the values from 1 to 10 in the for loops, now using while loop we are printing it. So what we are using it, the variable. We take advantage of the varying I value for printing these values. Okay, I'm just going to print 1 to 10, then we will see the continue scenario. Okay, so I will copy this code and I will test it with my simulation environment. Okay, so now I want 1 to 10 to be printed. Okay, so if you don't understand what I'm doing it, go to the for loop. There are around 15 or 20 videos in this playlist, and watch them all and come back and you will understand what I'm doing here quickly. Okay, so I'm printing the I values, that's all, one after another, right? So I'll do the simulation and see. Okay, see the numbers from 1 to 10 are being printed. Why? Because these are the I values during each and every iteration where this condition is true. So if you take any I value 1 or 2 or up to 10, everything will satisfy this condition. That is why we got into the while loop and we printed the while loop, we printed the I value. Okay, only when this is success, this printing happened. That is why every value are satisfying this condition. You get it from 1 to 10. All good, right? Nice. Now this is the logic to print the numbers from 1 to 10. So now if I ask to print the numbers from 1 to 100, you know how to do it, because we have done it in the for loop as well. So I'm not going to repeat it. Okay, now what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the continue keyword. So guys, you might have noticed I'm going a little fast with the while loop because we have seen all of them in the for loop. Okay, only you have to understand the structure and the only you have to understand the structure of the while loop, nothing but that. Okay, how do you structureize and how do you play around with this scenario, with these things, that's all. Okay, let's do the continue keyword. So what I will do is, for odd numbers I'm going to avoid printing, and for even numbers I'm going to print the values. So that means from 1 to 10 Okay, I'm going to earlier now what I printed all the numbers from 1 to 10, right? You can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Now I'm going to avoid these odd numbers 1 3 5 7 9. I'm sorry, 9, and I'm only going to print 2 4 6 8 sorry 8 and 10. Okay, 2 4 6 8 and 10 are going to be printed. 1 3 5 7 9 are going to be avoided. So how we can do is, this while loop is going to the program is going to get into the while loop, okay, and implement whenever this I is less than or equal to 10. Whenever the I is somewhere between 1 to 10, okay, including the 1 and 10. So even the odd number and even numbers both are going to come inside the while loop, but I am going to filter only the even numbers, and I am going to prevent the odd numbers being printed. So what I will do is, when there is an odd number value coming for the I will continue the iteration. That means what? That particular iteration will be skipped. That means everything after this iteration should be skipped. Okay, this will make a problem. Why? Yes. Yeah, I will tell what should be done, right? Okay, don't worry. Okay, I want to continue. So what I will do is, I will first write an if condition, and I will check how I can evaluate this I value to be odd number. Okay, so I will say I. So how to check the odd number, guys? I modulus 2 is equal to 1. Okay, that means I divide the I by 2, and if the remainder is 1, it is an odd number. Okay, and if I divide the I by 2 and the remainder is 0, it is the even number. Okay, but why I have to skip it is, if this remainder is 1, that means for odd numbers I have to skip. Okay, so I am writing a if condition that is true when there is an odd number is coming here. That means 1 3 5 7 and 9. Okay, so what I will do is, I will write a continue keyword. So what will happen is, everything after this will be skipped, and the next iteration will start. But there's a small problem here, if you notice. Okay, since we are writing this I plus plus also manually, okay, this I plus plus will also be skipped. You understand this, guys? Okay, so let's say the number 3 is coming here as an I value. Okay, I'm just saying, okay, 1 2 3 just. So this 3 divided by 2, remainder is 1. Now this will be skipped. That means everything will be skipped, and the code will come to the line number 7, line number 15. Okay, this is the end of the while loop. The code will come to line number 15. Let's have a space. Line number 15, and again it will come to line number 7. Okay, now what is I value? Still it is 3, because everything is skipped. Even the increment is also skipped. So I is not incremented to 4. Still it is 3. So again it will come, and again it will skip. Again it will skip everything. Again I is still 3, and it will come here. This is true, and it will continue this. So this is the problem, guys. But in the for loop it is not the problem, because in the for loop, in the bracket itself we wrote it, this I plus plus thing. You remember at the last thing we wrote the incrementing. So this incrementing will automatically come in, even though it is used in the flow chart. We have seen this increment is happening in the last line. The program is doing it by self. Okay, we have said it earlier. Okay, so even though you skip it, the program will understand, okay, even though he is skipping, I have to do the increment at the last line. I will skip everything before the increment, because we have said the incrementing scenario in the first line itself in the for loop. But in the while loop it is not the case. We write the increment manually at the last line, so program doesn't know the thing. So program will skip everything after the continue keyword. So this problem will happen, and this I is still the 3, number 3 or number 1, the odd number, and it is not increased, that so that it will always keep continuing this, keep the next each and every iterations forever. So how we can sort this out, we will see in the next video, guys.